In the endless darkness of the desert night, giant towers of fire burn beside massive steel structures. Deep beneath the ground, powerful drilling machines continue their relentless work. From these silent oil fields comes the fuel that powers our cars, airplanes, ships, and countless factories around the world. Modern civilization moves forward on this hidden energy, and if we look at moments of global fuel shortages or oil crises, we can truly understand how deeply human life depends on petrol and diesel. But have you ever wondered where this fuel actually comes from? How does the thick black liquid hidden deep beneath the earth slowly transform into the clear and powerful petrol that runs an engine? The answer is far more mysterious than it seems. Because this is not just an industrial process. Behind every drop of fuel lies a story written over millions of years. A story of oceans, microscopic life, heat, pressure, and the slow transformation of nature itself. In today's documentary, we will enter the hidden underground world of crude oil. We will discover how ancient marine organisms eventually became the fuel of modern civilization. We will also see how humans search for oil deep beneath the earth, extract it from dangerous underground reservoirs, and finally refine it into petrol and diesel inside giant refineries. Imagine holding a single drop of petrol in your hand. It appears ordinary, thin, and light. Yet, hidden inside that tiny drop is the history of an ancient world that existed long before humans walked the earth. The energy inside it began its journey millions of years ago beneath vast prehistoric oceans. Long before cities, roads, or machines existed, the Earth looked completely different. Huge oceans covered much of the planet, and deep within those waters lived countless microscopic organisms. Tiny plankton, algae, and other marine life floated endlessly beneath the surface. Individually, they were almost invisible. But together, over millions of years, they would create one of the most valuable resources in human history. Like all living things, these organisms eventually died. Their remains slowly sank to the bottom of the sea, forming layer after layer of organic material. Year after year, century after century, enormous quantities of dead microorganisms accumulated on the ocean floor. Gradually, sand, mud, and sediments buried them deeper beneath the earth. As these layers grew thicker, the pressure on the lower layers increased tremendously. At the same time, heat rising from deep inside the planet began affecting the buried organic matter. Deep underground, an extraordinary natural process slowly began. Extreme pressure from above and intense heat from below worked together for millions of years. The environment deep underground became almost like a giant natural pressure chamber. Slowly, the buried organic material started breaking down chemically. Over vast periods of time, these remains transformed into hydrocarbons, and eventually those hydrocarbons became crude oil and natural gas. In simple words, crude oil is actually ancient solar energy trapped inside the Earth. Millions of years ago, sunlight was absorbed by tiny marine organisms. After their death, that energy became locked deep underground through geological processes. Today, humanity releases and uses that stored energy to power the modern world. But the formation of oil was only the beginning of the story. For millions of years, crude oil remained trapped beneath thick layers of rock, hidden in darkness, untouched by human civilization. Driven by curiosity, technology, and energy demand, humans began searching for these underground reserves. The first stage of oil extraction begins with exploration. Scientists determine if oil exists underground using seismic surveying. Powerful vibration waves are sent deep into the earth. These waves travel through rock layers and bounce back to the surface. By analyzing reflected wave patterns, scientists understand what lies beneath, identifying oil reservoirs. If oil is present, massive drilling rigs are transported to the site. These giant machines drill kilometers deep. Beneath the surface lies an environment of darkness, crushing pressure, and extreme heat. At the center is a rotating drill bit with hard metal teeth. It crushes through solid rock layers, moving deeper. This process can continue for weeks or months. Drilling this deep is extremely dangerous. Underground pressure can become so intense that uncontrolled oil or gas eruptions may occur. To prevent catastrophic accidents, engineers use a special substance called drilling fluid or drilling mud. This fluid cools the drill bit, removes rock fragments, and most importantly, balances underground pressure. Eventually, the drill reaches the oil-bearing reservoir. Trapped crude oil exists under enormous natural pressure. Once a pathway is opened, the oil begins moving upward through the well. Slowly, the dark liquid rises. This black crude oil is the same substance formed from ancient marine life millions of years ago. But even after extraction, it is still far from becoming usable fuel. Raw crude oil is thick, heavy, and filled with impurities. It contains many different types of hydrocarbons mixed together. The next stage takes place inside oil refineries. At the refinery, crude oil first enters massive heating furnaces where temperatures can reach nearly 400 degrees Celsius. As the temperature rises, the crude oil begins to separate into different gases and liquids. The heated mixture is then sent into a tall structure called a fractional distillation column. Inside this enormous tower, an incredible separation process begins. Different hydrocarbons boil at different temperatures. Heavy substances remain lower in the tower, while lighter substances rise higher. As the vapor cools at different levels, various fuels separate from one another naturally. At the upper levels, lighter gases such as propane and butane are collected. Slightly lower in the tower, petrol or gasoline begins to condense. Further down, heavier fuels like kerosene, diesel, lubricating oils, and eventually bitumen are separated. This single process transforms crude oil into many different products that power modern civilization. Petrol fuels cars and motorcycles. Kerosene powers jet engines. Diesel runs trucks, ships, and heavy machinery. Even roads, plastics, chemicals, and synthetic materials are connected to this ancient underground resource. But refining does not end there. Even after separation, fuels must undergo additional purification and chemical treatment. Refineries remove sulfur and harmful impurities to improve fuel quality and reduce pollution. Advanced chemical processes are also used to improve engine performance and increase fuel efficiency. The final petrol that reaches gas stations is therefore the result of an incredibly long journey. A journey that began millions of years ago in ancient oceans, continued through geological transformation deep underground, and finally passed through some of the most advanced industrial systems created by humanity. Today, whenever an engine starts or a plane takes off into the sky, it is powered by energy stored inside the earth since prehistoric times. Every drop of fuel carries the remains of ancient life and the memory of a world that disappeared millions of years before human civilization began. And perhaps that is what makes crude oil so extraordinary. Because beneath the roads we travel, beneath the machines we build, and beneath the speed of modern life itself, lies the silent energy of an ancient planet still shaping the future of humanity.